If you've ever been through the agricultural regions of the United States, especially the Corn Belt and the soybean-producing states, you've seen how massive these operations are, moving thousands of tons of food every year. But did you know that on many of these farms, rat infestations have become a constant threat to grain storage? It's estimated that rodents consume and contaminate up to 10% of all stored corn on medium-sized farms, representing hundreds of tons of food loss per harvest and over $2 billion in annual damage nationwide. These numbers don't even include indirect losses: chewed electrical cables, corroded silos, ruined hay bales, and cross-contaminated feed that can spread salmonella and leptospirosis among livestock. The problem persists because rats reproduce at an exponential rate. A single pair can produce up to 1/200 offspring in 12 months. Once a barn harbors hundreds of rodents, their population grows faster than traps or poisons can control. Traditional control methods, poison, bait, and traps, fail for three main reasons. First, biological resistance. Many rural rat populations have already developed tolerance to anticoagulants and rodenticides that have been used since the 1980s. Second, environmental risk. Raptors and barn cats die after consuming poisoned prey, disrupting the farm's natural balance. Third, cost. A mid-sized property can spend up to $5,000 a year on bait and trap maintenance, often without lasting results. Faced with this, farmers began searching for a natural, safe, and economically viable solution. The use of specialized hunting dogs, bred for instinct and speed. Among dozens of breeds tested, one stood out with consistent performance across different terrains and barn structures: the Jack Russell Terrier. Compact, agile, and with an extraordinarily sharp nose, this dog was originally bred in 19th century England by Reverend John Russell to pursue foxes through narrow tunnels. The same anatomy that made it ideal for underground hunting now makes it the perfect predator for barns filled with bales and wooden beams. While larger dogs damage the environment or tire quickly, the Jack Russell maintains energy and precision for hours. With a muscular body measuring about 12 inches tall and weighing 11 to 15 pounds, it moves easily through tight spaces without losing agility. Its efficiency doesn't come from size alone, but from focus. The Jack Russell doesn't chase for play. It hunts to neutralize the target instantly, without hesitation, and without harming other animals. Field studies on farms in Missouri have shown that teams of 6 Jack Russells eliminated over 400 rats in under 2 hours without traps or poison. The explanation lies in their extraordinary hearing and smell. They detect rodent movement beneath hay and react in less than 0.3 seconds to the first sound. Working as a coordinated unit, they divide search areas instinctively, without verbal commands. The result is a biological, economical, and sustainable form of pest control that replaces toxic chemicals and gives farmers direct control over their environment. While rats operate silently in colonies, multiplying in the shadows of grain piles, these dogs can turn the situation around in minutes. That's the central question this documentary explores. How can a dog weighing less than 15 pounds hold back an entire army of agricultural pests that resist modern technology? The answer lies in the genetics, instinct, and precision of the Jack Russell Terrier. And that's exactly what this film will reveal. Have you ever wondered why some farms manage to keep their grain stores perfectly intact, while others lose tons every year to rodent infestations? The difference often comes down to something as small as a 15-pound dog. Understanding why the Jack Russell Terrier was chosen for this job isn't just curiosity. It's understanding one of the most efficient biological solutions ever applied to modern rural pest control. Without them, the cost of crop loss, contamination, and ecological imbalance would be far greater. These dogs aren't pets, they are precision tools, refined through generations of selective breeding and real-world practice. The origin of the Jack Russell goes back to 19th century England, when Reverend John Russell crossbred hunting terriers to create a dog that was fast, compact, and relentless in pursuit. His goal was to hunt foxes in underground burrows, a task that only a small and fearless animal could perform. That same genetic foundation shaped what is now known as a high-response working dog. Over the decades, the breed has remained nearly unchanged in structure and behavior. Dense muscles, lightning-fast reflexes, and an endurance threshold far above that of larger dogs. This physical and behavioral stability is what makes the Jack Russell reliable in agricultural settings, where reaction time and accuracy matter more than brute strength. Physically, it's an animal built for efficiency. Standing about 12 inches tall and weighing 11 to 15 pounds, the Jack Russell combines lightness with muscular power. Its narrow chest allows it to squeeze into confined spaces, and its low center of gravity lets it pivot instantly, essential when prey darts between hay bales or narrow feed corridors. Its hearing can detect frequencies up to 65 kHz, nearly double what humans can perceive, and its nose holds over 200 million scent receptors, ranking it among the most sensitive of all dog breeds. This sensitivity allows it to trace a rodent's path using microscopic odor particles left behind only minutes earlier. Behaviorally, the Jack Russell stands apart. It doesn't destroy its hunting ground. It identifies, locates, and neutralizes its target with surgical precision. While other terriers, like the fox or border, may dig excessively or scatter their focus, the Jack Russell works with calculated economy of movement. It reacts only when both scent and sound confirm a live target, minimizing fatigue and preventing unnecessary damage to the barn. This selectivity makes it ideal for small and mid-sized farms, where structural preservation is just as important as pest elimination. Field studies conducted by biological control groups in Illinois and Missouri found that teams of 6 Jack Russells removed an average of 65% more rodents per session than equivalent groups of other terrier breeds. Rural veterinarians also reported faster recovery times and fewer injuries, attributed to the breed's cardiovascular endurance and dense muscle structure. On top of that, Jack Russells maintain mental focus for long periods without decline in performance, a rare trait even among working dogs. The technical consensus among rural pest control professionals is clear. For farmers, these dogs are the biological equivalent of a calibrated instrument, filling a gap that no chemical or mechanical technology has yet solved. The combination of genetics, instinct, and adaptability makes the Jack Russell Terrier a model of functional design, a small hunter with industrial-level performance. And it's precisely this natural efficiency that has redefined the dog's role in agriculture. From household companion to an essential biological agent, safeguarding farm productivity. And it doesn't take much to get the job done, just a well-trained team that knows exactly what to do. When a crew of 6 Jack Russells arrives at a farm, the process begins with a thorough inspection. The handler surveys the terrain, identifies the most active areas, access holes, narrow corridors between hay bales and feed piles, and then releases the dogs. The work doesn't rely on complex verbal commands, just a short word, and the metallic sound of unclipping the leads. From that moment, the environment comes alive. Within seconds, the dogs spread out with instinctive precision, covering different areas as if following an invisible plan. Smell is their guide. Each Jack Russell moves with its nose close to the ground, reading scent particles that mark rodent trails. When the scent is fresh, the dog's body tightens and its pace quickens. When the trail goes cold, it instantly changes direction. Handlers call this ground reading, a skill almost impossible to replicate mechanically. The moment one of them detects an active nest, everything changes. The dog freezes, points its muzzle, gives a short, sharp bark, and the rest converge immediately. This coordination isn't trained, it's instinct, the product of generations bred to hunt in packs. Inside barns, speed defines success. A Jack Russell can react in less than half a second to the movement of a rat. The capture is clean and immediate, without scattering the group. While 2 dogs handle the kill, others guard the escape routes, forming a moving perimeter that shifts with sound and scent. The handler simply supervises, collecting the fallen rodents and assessing infestation density. Each session lasts 1 to 2 hours, with short breaks for hydration. The numbers recorded in real operations are remarkable. On medium-sized farms in Iowa, Teams of 6 Jack Russells eliminate between 300 and 600 rodents per session, depending on population density and barn layout. In severe infestations, there are records of over 800 kills in a single afternoon. Their efficiency is so high that after just 2 or 3 visits, rodent activity drops by an average of 70%, and the treated areas stay stable for weeks. Success isn't measured only by the body count. Handlers also track the reduction of droppings, tracks, and nocturnal noise over the following days. From a technical and economic standpoint, the impact is direct. Using dogs replaces rodenticides entirely, cuts operational costs, and eliminates secondary poisoning risks. A farm that once spent up to $5,000 a year on chemical treatments can reduce that to under $500, covering only veterinary care and maintenance for the dogs. There's also a measurable environmental gain. Populations of owls and hawks begin to rebound, since their prey is no longer poisoned, and when the barn finally falls silent, the floor swept clean, the dust settling, there's a pause. The Jack Russells don't immediately relax. They stay alert, noses twitching, scanning for any sign of movement. Some continue pacing between haystacks, checking corners, as if they know one always gets away. That lingering vigilance, the refusal to stop working even after the hunt is done, is what handlers call the mark of a true working dog. The barn may be quiet, but for them, the hunt is never completely over. After each operation, farms using Jack Russells see results fast. Rodent activity drops by up to 80% within days, and the grain stays cleaner, safer, and ready for use. When the hunt ends, the dogs rest briefly, still alert, their focus unbroken. That's what defines the Jack Russell Terrier: efficiency, instinct, and endurance. If you enjoyed this look into real biological pest control, subscribe and leave a like. It helps bring these stories to more people. And stay tuned. In the next videos, we'll feature other terrier breeds that take on the same mission in different farm environments.